Hey guys, Jan here, codingwithjan.com. So today I don't have so much time, but let's do a super quick chill coding video. I want to show you how to implement an in-cart upsell within the Dawn theme by only using or reusing existing components. Yeah, so you can see that right here, the coffee Vietnam was added to cart, and then we are also suggested, or we get the coffee of the week suggested as an upsell. And if we add that to cart, it also disappears. And if we remove it from the cart, it also appears back again. So it's actually an easy way to boost revenue on your client store or on your own store. And yeah, the coding won't be too hard because, as I said, we will be reusing components mostly. Yeah, should still be fun, and you can learn some things about the thought process. I'm talking too much. Let's dive right in. All right, so we're starting in my development store. And as you can tell, I have a fresh copy of the Dawn theme installed. Version 15.2 is the most recent by the time I'm recording this. And yeah, we can also preview that theme. Because then you would see that I don't have any customizations in here yet. Also, quick note, if you are working on a live store, make sure to duplicate your theme first. Yeah, you can click the three dots and then duplicate. That will create a theme copy down below. And ideally, you even want to work in that theme copy, because then you can publish everything once everything is like tested and works. However, I'm on a development store, nothing is live here, so I'll just work in the main theme directly. Okay, then as a first step, I want to find a good place to insert my upsell. And in order to do that, I will inspect the cart because I want to get a better understanding of the structure, the HTML structure. So I'll right click, inspect. This brings up the Chrome developer tools, as you can tell right here. And if we hover over these elements, you can also see them get highlighted in the page. Yeah, so this is the entire cart drawer right here. And then inside we have the drawer header. We have the cart items, and then lastly, we have the drawer footer. Yeah. So I think a good place would be between the footer and the cart items. So at the very bottom right here. And I'll keep this here as a reference, drawer __ footer, because that kind of sounds unique, and I will easily be able to identify that in my theme files. So with that in mind, I'm going back to the admin dashboard, and now I want to edit the code of my theme or the duplicate, yeah, depending on where you're working in. So I'm clicking the three dots and then edit code. This brings up Shopify's internal theme editor. Usually I wouldn't recommend using this because as a developer, you can have a more solid setup. Yeah, you can download themes to your local PC and then edit them in Visual Studio Code or Cursor. That also allows you to integrate AI tools in your workflows. But yeah, the whole setup takes a while, so that's rather something I teach as part of my trainings. And for now, let's focus on making this work quickly. So we'll be using the internal code editor. Okay, now what I'm looking for is a file related to this cart drawer here. Yeah, because remember, that's where we want to place the upsell. And therefore, my best guess would be just searching by name. So let's just do cart, keep it a bit broader. And here we can already see a few matches. So section file, cart drawer. Let's take a look at that. This only renders a snippet that goes by the same name. And we can also click this arrow here to follow. But let me also show you that in the snippets folder. So snippets folder also contains a file called cart drawer. And now let me zoom in here a bit so we can read this better. And then I'll just kind of browse through this. So, okay, this is HTML cart drawer. Yeah. Cart drawer inner. Cart drawer close is probably like the small X to close it out. Close. This doesn't. Drawer header. That's already something we've seen on the front end, remember? And then it keeps going. Cart drawer items. Yeah, also sounds promising. Awesome. Yeah, so you can see I just briefly scan this. I don't even try to read it in detail. And then after the cart drawer items, somewhere, we might be able to find the footer. Line item error, let's see. Cart drawer items end. And here we start with the footer. Yeah, so this is exactly in between what we were looking for. Otherwise, we could have also just searched for that. Then I would have pressed Control F and then paste the CSS class that we saw on the front end, drawer __ footer, and it would have gotten me here directly. But yeah, sometimes browsing a bit through the files and getting an overview also helps. And just to confirm we're actually in the right place, what you can do is add a small test here, save this file, and then do a quick refresh on the front end. Right now we also don't need the developer tools. Bring up the cart, and then we should see this small test right here. Yeah, awesome. That means we're indeed in the right place. Okay, now instead of this small test here, I actually want to add a div. And if you don't know what a div is, it's kind of like a container that wraps multiple elements. So what I would suggest is that we just follow the same format here. So I would create a div of class and then drawer underscore upsell. Yeah, that's going to be our custom CSS class if we later want to style this element a bit more. That makes it easier to reference. And then in between here, I want to display the product that we want to upsell. And yeah, right now, I don't have any clue how to do that. So first I want to source some inspiration from other places in the store where products are displayed. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, we will try to reuse existing elements to make our life a bit easier here. And yeah, one place I know where products are displayed for sure is the collection page. Awesome. And now let's have a look at how products are displayed right here. Yeah. So we could inspect this, for example. Okay, here we have this product grid, which is the entire page. Okay, still the product grid. You see that right here. And then we have these individual list items. Yeah, the individual products. And what else do we have? Okay, card wrapper, product card. Yeah, so one of these things here is called product card. So one single product is wrapped into a product card. So maybe we can find a component that goes by that name. Yeah, product card is not unusual to find in themes. But yeah, maybe we should inspect this a bit more and check out the collection template theme file. And then maybe we can draw some inspiration from there. So back in the theme files, now I want to check out the collection template. So instead of card, I'll just search for collection. And then let's go through the search results. So within the section folder, we can already see a few things here. Collection list, featured collection, main collection banner, main collection product grid. That sounds very promising to me. So let's actually bring that up. And again, then let's briefly get an overview of how things are structured here. So here we're including a bunch of CSS files for styling. Let's actually see what else. This is also interesting. The collection page already has a quick add to cart button. So if that setting is enabled, it seems we're also including some scripts here. Keep that in mind for later. But yeah, then the collection HTML starts. Product count. Product grid. Sounds more promising. If the collection product size equals 0, so if we don't have any products in that collection, probably show some either a placeholder or a warning, or not a warning, a message, collection is empty or something along those lines. And then this looks a bit promising also. Yeah, this is very interesting. So for every product in the collection products, we want to do something, right? And namely, we want to render one of these list items here that we just saw on the front end. And that list item contains a product or another snippet called card-product. And it seems that snippet is also taking some input here. It takes the product we want to display. We can define the aspect ratio, the image shape and whatnot. So this snippet right here, card product, actually seems very interesting. And I want to try to find that in the snippets folder. So then back in search, I'll just search for that directly. And you would see that in the snippets folder, we can find it right here, card-product. And yeah, the cool thing is that the developers of the Dawn theme do a good job of documenting their theme and all the different snippets that we can use. So here it says, okay, this renders a product card. Awesome, exactly what we need. And it also shows us what kind of parameters this accepts and how they should look like. So I think, yeah, maybe we just copy this from here first, render product card, and then bring this to our card drawer. Yeah, so where we had the small test before, now we have our upsell container, and I'll just paste this product card in here. The indentation sometimes gets a bit messed up with this editor, but yeah, we got to deal with it for now. And now we just have to take care of yeah, all the inputs that we want to use in order to make this work. Okay, so maybe we just kick out everything that we don't need. So product, yeah, we will need a product. We want to display a product. Okay, media aspect ratio. Let's see. Let's check that out in the snippets file. Is that documented? Yes, takes a string and we can pretty much define the shape of the product image. So values are square, portrait, or whatever. And the default value is square. Yeah, so we don't need to explicitly define that. So I'll just kick it out. Image shape is the next parameter. It's an image mask, so we can do something like arch, diamond, parallelogram. Yeah, and the default option, I don't think there would be an image shape if we don't apply this. So yeah, let's actually leave that on default. I just want a square image. Show secondary image. I can already tell that I don't want that. Show vendor. I also don't need that. Rating, we don't need. Lazy loading. Let's actually see. In case you don't know, lazy loading means that the image only loads when it's actually in the visible part of the desktop, so to speak. Yeah, for site performance. So lazy loading. It's also true per default. Yeah, you can see that right here. So we can get rid of that as well. True per default sounds good to me. Skip styles. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Let's actually check. Don't include component styles useful for rendering multiple product cards in a loop. Default is false. Yeah, I don't know why we would need that, so let's kick it out. Quick add. This is very interesting because it seems that this product card already comes with a quick add to cart button, which would be awesome. So let's actually see. It's documented right here. So it says Boolean, show the quick add to cart button. Yes, that's awesome. We want that. So I'll just set this to true. Section ID, I also don't think we need that. And yeah, now let's see what other options we might have here. Horizontal class sounds interesting because then we can render this card as horizontal. I think that would make sense. So let's actually try that out. So I'll add this as a new parameter here. Horizontal class is true and comma at the end. And horizontal quick add changes the quick add button style when this is applied. Yeah, also seems to make sense. So let's also try that. So horizontal quick add. I will also set that to true. Oh, this should be column. Okay, so one more time. We're now using the snippet here, cart product. We still need a product that we want to show, but we want to enable the quick add to cart button. We want to show it horizontally and also the quick add to cart button horizontally. So I think these would be good settings. And now we just need a product that we want to display. So I'll define that one line above. I'll do assign product equals. And here we can reference a liquid object that holds all the products in the store. So all underscore products and then square brackets. And then in quotes, we can pass the product handle. So in this case, in a second tab, I'll go back to my admin dashboard, go to products, and then I'll pick the product that I want to upsell. In this case, I'll use the coffee Ethiopia. I think here it's also important to mention that this product doesn't have any additional variants. Yeah, I don't want to also create a variant pop-up or something like that where you can choose the right one. Just a simple product, add to cart, and yeah, boost the average order value. That's my goal right here. And now we need to figure out the product handle for this specific product. So I'll just go down to the very bottom, and then we can see that right here. It's products/coffee-Ethiopia. So I copy that from here. And then we can paste it into our assignment. Oops, into the quotes. Yes. So again, we're assigning a new variable called product. Yeah, we can also call this upsell product or my product or whatever is easier for you. So let's actually do upsell underscore product. And the upsell product equals the coffee Ethiopia. Yeah, and now we can pass this variable here, our upsell product, into the product card. Okay, so here we're rendering the product card with our upsell product. We want to add the quick add to cart button, the horizontal class, and the horizontal quick add. Let's save that and see if it works. So the next time we refresh the front end, let's bring up the cart drawer. We have our coffee Vietnam in cart, and we already see the upsell product. Looks quite promising, but what we don't see is the quick add to cart button. So now I'm wondering why that is. So let's actually go back to the code. So we had quick add set to true, and according to the documentation of that cart, quick add boolean, so true or false, shows the quick add to cart button or not. Let's take one quick look at the collection file just to see how it was done there. So here we're back in the collection template where they render all these product cards. And yeah, quick add. Let's see what kind of value they put in here. So this is coming from the section settings. So from the customizer, if you want, the customizer settings. And let's actually try to find this right here, quick add. I'll search that, see the next occurrence. This already gets us to the customizer settings. And the values here seem to be none, standard, or bulk. Yeah, so it's not true or false. The documentation might be outdated here actually. So let's see what happens if we pass the value standard, for example. So then back in our cart drawer file, instead of quick add true, I would now try to set it to standard. Let's save that again. And after the next refresh, if we're lucky, we might already see the add to cart button. Awesome. I think this could be styled a bit better. Maybe this could be like centered. We could also add a small headline. So yeah, I think that's what we are going to be doing next. Yeah, let's actually do that next. So back in the theme files, here we have the drawer upsell. And first, now I want to create a small headline element. So I'll do another div, another container. This one is going to be drawer __ upsell dash headline. Space it out a bit. Then one more div. I'll just copy what I have here. The div, this is going to be a class drawer __ upsell. Let's do product. And then inside this first div, I will write my headline. Try the coffee of the week. Also with a small emoji. I'll just use the coffee emoji right here. Usually you would want to add this into a translation file, or you would add a customizer setting for that so that your clients can adjust this on their own, be a bit more flexible. But yeah, for the sake of simplicity, I'll just hard code it right here. Then inside this other div, this container for the upsell product, I will add our product card. Okay. And the reason I'm doing that is through these containers, I will have an easier time referencing the elements and then styling them with CSS. Let me show you that right here. So a little bit of formatting. Yeah, so one more time, we have one outer container, the entire upsell. Then we have one container for the headline and one container for the product. Let me save this for now. And now after the next refresh on the front end, let's actually inspect this element here. Because I want to find the element that makes up the entire right half. So I'm hovering over all this HTML here. This is the entire card. You can see this contains the left and the right half. Then this element here, card inner, contains the left half. And then card content, that seems to contain the right half. Yeah, you can see it highlighted in the page right now. And now what I'll do is I'll bring up the CSS editor here, the style editor, and I'll try to add styles to this element. Where is it? Card content right here, right? I'll click on that, and then we can style this element right here live. So for example, you could do something like background dash color red. And then I would know, okay, this has the following effect. And if I want to have that permanently, I could bring that to my theme files. But of course, we don't want to do that now. So let's get rid of that. And instead, I want to do display flags. Yeah, so in order to understand this better, you would need to learn a bit of CSS. Then I would do flags direction, column. And then I would do align self center. Okay, and I think this already looks a bit better. So I think with these 3 CSS rules we could live. And also remember this selector here, cart __ content. So I'll copy these CSS rules right here. And then we can add a small style tag here for now. Usually you would also want to write your CSS in a separate component file. Yeah, you can observe that right here. They have these individual CSS components and you can add your CSS right there if you want to have it well structured. But again, sake of simplicity, let's keep it all in one place if we can. So here we have a style tag. And now I want to create a new styling rule for our drawer __ upsell product container. And then inside our container, our product container, I want to style the element that goes by the class cart __ content. So I'll add that here as well. Then a pair of curly brackets. So now I can write my styling rules right here. And we've already figured out the styling rules as well. So we want to add display flex, flex direction column, and align self center. And then we can just paste that right here. And again, indentation, not great, but all right. And then let's save that. Back to the front end, quick refresh. And yeah, I think this looks a lot better already. Also quick check on mobile. So we can bring up the developer tools again, mobile view. And also on mobile, yeah, this looks all right. For example, iPhone 12. Yeah, all right. And again, yeah, you can style this however you want. But yeah, again, for the sake of simplicity, let's keep it simple. And then we can move on. So the last thing we now need to test is the add to cart button. Will it work or not? Let's actually see. Add to cart. It kind of works. So the product is added to cart, but yeah, initially we didn't want to get redirected to the cart page, right? We want to add the product without getting redirected. So that is not working for some reason. And you can also see that if the product is in cart, it still gets displayed down here, which is also not what we want. So then first I want to figure out how to ajaxify this. Yeah, how we can add the product to cart without the entire page refreshing, without getting redirected to the cart page. And in order to do that, let's see how it's done on collection pages. So back in the theme files, I'm going back to the collection. And I think we've already seen that in the very beginning. So if we enable the quick add to cart feature on collection pages, we include 2 different snippets. For one, the quick add.js and the product-form.js. And we can actually take a look into these files to get an understanding of what they do. So let's start with the quick add.js file. I'll bring that up right here. And if we just read the first line, it already says quick add modal. So I have to imagine this is when you click add to cart and you have a product with multiple variants, it gives you this pop-up, yeah, this pop-up modal where you can select the right variant. We don't want that for now. We keep it simple. Remember, we just have a product with one option, right? The coffee itself. So this is not the file of interest for now. I'll go back to the collection page. The other snippet that's included is product-form.js. Let's also take a quick look into that file. And let's also try to briefly read through this. So this has to do with the product form. Okay, interesting. We add an event listener. So on submit, like once this is submitted, we want to do something, which is defined down here in the onSubmit handler function. And yeah, here we're preparing an AJAX request, means we are preparing a request in the background without refreshing the page. We're doing something with the form data. Okay, interesting. And then we are making a request against the cart _add URL. Yeah, so this sounds very, very promising. It's an AJAX request to add a product to cart without refreshing the page. So we might get away with just including the script here. And yeah, if you want to learn more about AJAX requests, that's also something I deeply cover in my trainings. So you will, yeah, everything in here will make perfect sense after. But for now, let's see if we can get away with just including this snippet here. So I'll just do it in the exact same way as it's done on the collection page. So here we have this script, yeah, product-form.js. And now I will just include that in the cart drawer file. And usually the best place to include snippets or include these kind of scripts is also at the very top. So yeah, I'll actually just add that at the very top here as well. Okay, product-form.js, include and save. And now the next time we refresh the front end, we might be able. So we have the coffee Vietnam in cart. And let's try the quick add to cart feature. Fingers crossed. And it does work. Yeah, the product is getting added or is being added to the cart. Awesome. The page isn't refreshing. And now the last thing we have to work on is hiding the upsell offer if the product is contained in the cart. Okay, so in order to do that, let's actually go back to our cart drawer file. Let's see where we included the upsell, where we are rendering the product cart. Should be somewhere down. It was actually very, very far down. Yeah, right here. This is where we include our upsell. And now I want to write some logic to only render this if the product is not included, if Coffee Ethiopia is not included in the cart, okay? So I'll start this right here. I'll assign a new variable and I'll just call this cart contains upsell, okay? Per default, there will be false, right? Per default, the upsell wouldn't be included in the cart items. And then I have to check each cart item, whether it's the Coffee Ethiopia. And if so, then, yeah, I don't want to display all of this down here. So let's actually write a for loop. So for every item in the cart.items, for every of these items here, and whenever we start a for loop, we also have to terminate it somewhere. So let's do that right away. Okay, so for every item in the cart items, I want to check if the item.product.handle equals Coffee Ethiopia. And whenever you start an if statement, you also have to terminate it somewhere below. So end if. Okay, so again, for every item in the cart items, I want to check if one of the product handles equals Coffee Ethiopia. And if that's the case, then I want to assign our variable that we had right here, cart contains upsell, to true. Okay, so in this case, it would be true, right? The cart would contain this upsell. And then down here, where we put up our markup and where we put up our component, I can now just say, unless the cart contains the upsell, this is either going to be true or false, right? So unless the cart contains the upsell, I want to render everything right here. And then also end unless down below. Yeah, so now this would only be printed out, or this would only be rendered on the front end if cart contains upsell equals false. Let's save that and see if that works as well. Okay, got a small error message here. Unknown tag assign with 3s. So that's a small typo. I gotta fix that right here. Assign. Save again. Now it works, or it was at least successfully saved. don't wanna set the expectations too high. So then, quick refresh on the front end, and now with a little bit of luck, add product to cart works. Awesome. Product gets hidden. Fantastic. And if we remove the product again, upsell also appears again. Amazing. And now I'm running out of positive expressions. But yeah, that's all we needed to do, and that's how we were able to make this work. Okay, guys, I'm running out of time here, but yeah, this is literally how easy it was. Super quick recap. First, we try to look for a place where it makes sense to add the upsell right before the cart footer, right after the cart items. Then we got some inspiration on the collection page, how products are rendered in this theme, and maybe if we were able to reuse something, we found the product card. Then we made the add to cart button work with this product-form.js, where it ajaxifies this cart request. And then lastly, we were writing the logic to hide and show the upsell depending on whether it's in cart. And yeah, I think this can still be improved a bit. So for example, it would make sense to add the CSS in a separate component file. That's something you can practice. For your clients, it would also be nice if they could select the product themselves. Yeah, so right now we've hard-coded this right here. But if you're interested, then you could try to add this as a new setting in the product, in the customizer, right? You could try to add a product picker. You can also watch my video on Shopify sections in order to do that. So yeah, try to replace this hard-coded product with a product coming from the product picker. And same with the headline. You can also try to add this headline here in the customizer. And yeah, if you want to learn more about coding and theme development or fully understanding the JavaScript side of things like this AJAX product form, that is something I'm covering in my trainings. Also the new JavaScript training. So far we already signed up 60 members. So if you're interested, you can join the waitlist. But yeah, this is all I have for now. I hope it wasn't too fast or that you were at least able to pick up a few cool hints here and there. And if you got questions, let me know in the comment section, and then have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Bye bye.